So right now I am watching God Games on repeat so I can sketch out Athena's outfit and have a good idea on how I should make it in total. So preferably I like black plasti dip, but they don't have anymore, so I'm gonna hold off on that for another day. But they do have the gold ones that I can use. And then for the glues, I found it down here. But this is crazy because the last time I bought this, I think they were like $8. Now it's $13. Dang, wow. But yep, I need it, so here we go. It's a good thing I didn't leave too, because I need masking tape. I think this is it. This will work, right? $6. Okay, so here's the breastplate so far that I made with the, what's it called? Quick seal? Let's see. Yeah, quick seal to hide the lines, and then I'll sand it down once it dries. I'm debating if I want to do the diamond motif in the center, like how it is in the God Games music video, or if I should add Medusa's head. I'm not sure yet, because I don't know. I just want it to be like a simple thing. I don't want to like make it too fancy, because it's just for fun. And then this is the headpiece that she wears on top of her head. And again, I also debated adding the border around the outside of the helmet. But again, I'm not sure if I want to make it too detailed, since I want it to be like super simple, just for fun type of thing. I'm not competing. So yeah. So here's the tiara, well, the base of it at least. Originally, I was gonna add this dowel, like how I did it for the breastplate, along the edges. But to me, it looks kind of too thick. And I thought about it, right? And if I was to have this on with this next to it, if it had the dowels, it might not push up against the tiara enough, you know, depending on how much room that's left on my head. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy some gold rhinestones and place it along the edges of the tiara. And with smaller rhinestones that I have upstairs for the last couple years, I'm going to do that motif design along throughout the entire thing. And hopefully that will make it like brighten a little bit more than just having a plain thing going on. The corset on Amazon costed $30, and I was like, nah, I don't want to spend that much money on this cosplay that I'll probably only wear once, right? So with the extra fabric I had upstairs, I pulled that out. And the old pattern I've had from previous projects in the past, I pulled that out too to make this. Voila. I just need to sew in the, tomorrow I need to go buy boning, I guess, and put it in. Like, you know, iron it first, of course, then the boning in the channels, and then sew all that together, piece it together, flip it inside out, iron it more, I guess, and add the eyelets to the back so it can lace up. But yeah, this is free now since I already had all the supplies. Woohoo! So here's the top so far. The clips is holding it on the seam line on each side. So I know the seam allowance is the same on both sides of, you know, the outside and the lining side. And then the needles are holding it in place. So when I'm sewing it on the top and bottom, it's not going to shift at all, or very minimally. But, you know, I got to make sure that I move slow. After that is done, I'm going to cut off the excess, as you guys could see here, and then flip it inside out so the correct side on both sides will show. And for the attachments, I'm thinking about adding in the metal grommets, or maybe I'll use the sewing machine setting. Let's see, which one is it? 62. Use 62 to do the fabric version. I am not sure yet, but we're almost done. Okay, so this is what it looks like after I flipped it inside out. I didn't iron the top and bottom again yet, but I'm thinking to sew along the bottom and top because it's kind of loose. And in retrospect, I was also looking at it in the mirror and I was like, dang, I should have added a boning in the center so it's not so loose, but it's kind of loose also in like the cup area. So I finished off the edges, the top and bottom, like I said I would. And it looks really nice. I'm pretty proud of myself for this. Because before I'd like give up and like not work on it for months. But you know, honestly, the artwork gave me so much motivation to start costume making again. I think that's where it really comes from because it's so good. And I watch it like literally all day. And you think I'm exaggerating, but no, I literally have watched it all day. This is for Athena's belt. So I sewed it around on the wrong side of the fabric with the correct side facing each other. So originally this is how it would look. But before I flip it inside out for the correct sides to show, I cut off the edges of the, I don't know, the sewing line, I guess. And I do this because when you flip it inside out, it gives it a crisper edge to the, obviously, the edges. But yeah, I just wanted to like explain it instead of like filming it and showing it because this is a lot faster compared to filming it and doing it like a long tutorial. So I'm explaining it again because I am too lazy to set up the camera to record. So for this, for her belt sash, the original fabric I was using was like a fake pleather, but I don't have any more of that fabric. So I found this suede fabric I have in my fabric bin upstairs. And while sewing it, you don't want it to catch on the teeth of the sewing machine. So what I did was put a parchment paper from like cooking food underneath it. So what will catch is the paper and not the fabric, because I've run into instances where the fabric would snag onto the teeth and it will cause like a bunch of thread to bunch up underneath it and cause like a big hole to the point where you have to cut it out. And typically you got to cut a big hole in the fabric too when that happens. So to prevent that, you use the parchment paper. And this is how it turned out after I ripped off everything. I mean, there's a few bits, pieces here and there, but you know, this is a lot better than just going at it without the paper underneath it. So yeah, just explaining again because I'm too lazy to set that up and record. To be honest, I didn't read the instructions for the neck armor. I just kind of cut it out and glued it together. I ran into a problem while working on this. I began to like sand down the edges and I noticed that the quick seal I use is actually made out of silicone and not for walls. So you could see the texture on it no matter how much I try to sand it down. Because again, it's silicone and not the drywall version. So I messed up on that. So I was thinking that instead of spray painting this with Plasti Dip in gold, I'm going to cover it with gold fabric I was going to use for the belt. Because at least the midsection of the body could match in like gold, and then for the accessories can be the same type of gold spray paint. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. And again, it's like learning as I go because it's been a couple of years since the last time I've worked on anything, but I'm just like explaining my ideas before I actually do it. This is what it looks like so far. I try to like stretch it out so it doesn't have a dart, but I think it's so curved that it's gonna have a dart in it regardless, no matter how much I try to pull it to the side. But yeah, this is what it looks like so far. I don't have enough space to put my tripod in here and like record it. Plus, this is actually my first time stretching four-way stretch over foam armor like this for the first time. So like I'm also holding it up to my body because this is again my first time doing it. So even if I was filming the process of doing this, it won't be in shot because I'm holding it up to my body while like stretching it out. But this is what it looks like so far. I guess it's okay if it has a dart. It doesn't bother me that much. No, actually it does. I had plaster on my fingers, so hopefully this dries and disappears. If it doesn't, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But this is what it looks like so far. And I'm using the clips to hold it in place. The back is kind of like, ooh, you know, but yeah, it's okay. Nobody's gonna see that. Anyways, in between layering it and making it dry off and all, I was using the Plasti Dip in my garage. Don't worry, it's well ventilated and have a mask on while doing this, but I'm Plasti Dipping it right now before I use the gold spray paint for all the accessory pieces. So accessory pieces will be matching with the gold spray paint, and the breastplate and the belt will be matched together with the 4-way stretch performance fabric. Yeah. Since I am winging it, I just winged the sleeve pattern based off of one of the dresses I have upstairs that matches the concept pattern of what she has on. And then for the bottom part, I found this ribbon at Walmart, and I'll just sew it at the bottom all the way across and gather it at the top. So that way it has like that flowing look, and then stitch it onto the straps of the top. And then of course, as you guys can see here, the breastplate, I'm gonna attach it with the stick-on Velcro. I don't wanna go too much in detail yet until I can see more clear pictures of it. Yeah. But yeah, this is my thought process so far. I was looking at this last night and realized the breastplate was too round at the top. So now I'm thinking about cutting this off and adding this attachment as a upper piece. Just thoughts so far. This really irritates me, but it is what it is. But yeah.
All right, now, let's try this again.
I've no respect for bullies, those who impose their will. I've seen plenty enough to truly